I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Yep, you want your boy? Go pick him up. He's over here, on the fucking concrete where I left him.
On an individual level, we have to learn that they are vile.
Not worth calories.
And you're Gen Z, and you won't date me.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss. Welcome, one and all. I'm KC.
And I am DC.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen, bringing to you this week and every week a celebration of all things avoiding extradition and keeping it 80% in the family.
Yeah, 1 out of 5 was not his sister. That's right.
Head over to twogoddamngentlemen.com to cast your ballot in the Hall of Gentlemen voting booth, as well as find a link to our Twitter, a link to our YouTube, and a link to our Patreon, where you gain access into our live Discord during these and bonus episodes. Leave us a voicemail to be heard on the show at 321-POV-FUCK, and don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast feed you use. And if that's Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review and a template for a 14-paragraph Madlib.
We will use it.
DC, if you would please read back the minutes to last week's meeting.
Mr. Not Extraditable himself, Roman Polanski. Totally a gentleman. KC +4. Congratulations, well done. Josh Duggar, not a gentleman. I have no idea what I did wrong, or maybe it was him. Maybe it was him that did something wrong. -5. -5 for him.
What did he do wrong that Roman
I don't
didn't?
know. Yeah,
Roman's the gentleman, that's right.
Yeah. I was going to say he could have had offspring with his victim, but that's probably not. He was pretty old, right, at the time, too? Or maybe he was younger. Who knows? Top 3, KC, a little bit of score adjustments, but no order adjustment. It is Harry Vox, Mel Gibson, and Brigham Young to the tune of +57, +48, and +41, respectively.
And on the bottom side, a -94 for Maddox, a -112 for Jake Paul, and -327 for Toots.
It's so funny. Like, Tudor only went down 5 or something this week. It's like completely a non-factor. Whereas you take 85% of our other gentlemen and add 5 or take away 5 in either direction, and it might bump them like 3 spots. No one's touching Tommy Tudor for now.
Tommy Tudor is undefeated.
He's only defeated.
He's winless.
So, yeah. He's other gentleman updates, KC. Harry Vox. We have once again received a comment on our Harry Vox YouTube video, which I love bringing in the comments. I don't know if maybe there's something wrong with me. I know you're not supposed to read the comments of the trolls win or blah, 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 whatever. But this person's not a troll, at least not to us.
If people are commenting on our videos, then the trolls have already won.
Correct. Language Hub Group says, "This is hilarious. I'm not a fan of Harry Pox." Did you get it? That was pretty good. "I used to know him. I'm from England, and I met him on holiday in Thailand in 1991. We kept in touch, and I visited him twice in Islip, Long Island." I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
It's Islip, yeah.
Islip, Long Island, where he lived at the time. "The last time I saw him was January 1993. We lost touch after that. A few years ago, I Googled him and found his awful website." If you haven't seen the website, I don't know if I brought it in when I did Harry Vox or not. It's been a while. But his website is terrible, and it's got this banner that streams across the... okay, I did. Thank you, chat. That ridiculous breaking news banner streaming across the top of the site is so funny. It's too fast to read. That's right, because we tried to do roulette and click it and see what we got, and then we read the story. When I knew him, he was a live wire. Great fun to be around, really charismatic. He paints, plays the guitar, and he's been a businessman. So that's not impressive. Everybody does those things.
He's a goddamn gentleman, of course.
He seemed highly intelligent and creative. What went wrong? So it's a good question. We're trying to figure it out.
Nothing.
Nothing.
In my opinion.
Nothing went wrong. or the opinion of most of the voters, or one voter who spent a long time voting Harry into the top, which I suspect is the truth. But there you go. So now I can't wait until the people who have been cheering on Harry see that comment and just jump all over it. It's gonna be
Excellent.
fantastic.
I hope it happens now. I hope it happens immediately.
Now, all right, Casey. So that's basically it for all the updates. Did you come across any findings?
No, nothing.
Cromwell up to anything?
No major updates on Oliver Cromwell. King Henry is excited about reincarnation and killing another wife, but no updates yet on it.
Oh, good. So he got transplanted into the Middle East. Good for him.
He was looking for that Walt Disney treatment, like getting frozen for a while, but he was just too early. Just too early. He would have been able to bang out a few more wives, but just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Disappointing. You're up. Nomination
Casey,
time.
I am excited about this week. This is a gentleman that I think subconsciously was always there from week one. Because you hear the name, you know him. The class just flows from this guy. Before you play the first image, Casey, I'm just going to give a little bit of a history of my gentleman. See if you can guess who it is. He's a son of a nuclear engineer.
I know it. Okay, I don't know it.
He was born in California. His father moved around a lot, as you can imagine. Not every town has a nuclear power plant, so he moved around and moved to Arkansas as a kid. His dad bought him a set of Jack Nicklaus Golden Bear golf clubs when he was 5 years old. Really took to the game to the point where he was begging his mom to take him to the local course, when he was like 6-7 years old, and he would go out and play 18 holes with just regular dudes like you and me, or just adult men who are out on the course playing, and this freaking 7-year-old kid shows up to play. He is much older now. Casey, if you would, picture number 1, John Daly, everybody. I can't wait.
A goddamn stud.
He's the best. So, not only was he playing avidly at the age of 7, but people who knew him growing up and watched him play growing up say that even once he was pro, his swing did not look any different than when he was 7 years old. It's just pure natural talent. The guy is insane. He was out driving most all of the men on the golf course at 12 years old, which had to be embarrassing for all the men there. I would have quit. If a 12-year-old walked up, seriously, and used the same golf clubs that I got as like a graduation present out of high school, right? Like he's whooping my ass with the exact same clubs that I started with at 18. I'd probably quit. I'd probably quit the game of golf, turn around, walk away.
There was a summer when I was like 23 that I played in a Wednesday night golf league with my dad. You know this. And one week, one of the guys was a dad, and his partner was out, and he had his son play. And his son was like 12. And I don't know what I shot that night, but I was always somewhere between like 45 and 54, depending on how bad I was. And this kid came out and shot a 42. Oh, and God. I wanted to throw the clubs away. I was like, no, I don't ever want to play golf again, because that kid is 12.
He would play. So he would play at a 9-hole executive course or whatever the closest course was. But he would play it multiple times. So he'd play 18 holes, the 9 holes through a couple times, and then his mom would come to pick him up, and she'd be like, "All right, you ready to come home?" He's like, I want to play some more." He'd just stay out and play. And I guarantee you, being like a 7-year-old kid when he was starting doing all this shit, the course pro probably just let him play for free. And it's like, I'm going to take credit for this kid. I'm going to give him some tips. So anyway, he was out driving all the men at 12 years old. He used to go and fish the balls out of the pond because he'd play so much that it would just be ridiculously expensive to buy balls to play. Because even as good as he was probably losing a few. You know, it happens to the best of them. So he's fishing the balls out of the pond to avoid buying balls. In 1978, so he was 12 years old at this time, he won the local course men's championship. At 12 years old, won
Jesus
the course
Christ.
championship. And the I don't want to say country club, but whoever the organizers were for this tournament, right? You would think that having a 12-year-old win your event would be like huge. You would want to promote that. You would want to like, you know, build up to like beat the 13-year-old returning champ. Like build, you know what I'm saying? Like build it up.
Not that way.
Encourage
Not that way at
Yeah.
golf. But
yeah, golf, not the way you're thinking. But no, this group of gentlemen decided, we know, no kids anymore. We're banning kids from our tournament. You cannot play anymore. So that's awesome, actually. Like, fuck you, kids. You're not being in our tournament anymore, because they realize they're never going to win that tournament again. This kid's 12. You think he's going to get worse when he's 13? He's not going to get worse again for 40 years. He is only going to get better at golf for 40 years. We got to get this kid out of here. Buy us like 8 years.
well, spoiler alert. It's like it's about 30 or 28 years until he starts getting bad. But you know,
Yeah, but he peaked spectacularly. So
he certainly.
He picks up drinking at the age of 14 years old. His favorite drink, Jack Daniels, of course, because that was his abusive father's favorite drink. And that's how favorite drinks work. At 14 years old, whatever your father's favorite drink is, usually is what you drink. I've come to find out. He had no teachers, no coaches, nothing. Everything was self-taught, and he just blew through all the competition. In high school, obviously, he was the best kid on the team. As a junior, he won the Arkansas high school, at this time, sorry, he was moved to Missouri at this time. So he won the high school state title and the Missouri state amateur title. So expanded from going from a 12-year-old beating the local chumps to now a 16-year-old beating all the chumps in Missouri.
Everybody.
Which is a very, very populous state. And so he's crushing it, right? His parents decided his senior year that they were going to move to New Hampshire. He could come if he wants, but if not, have fun. You're basically an adult now. You can stay in Missouri if you want to. He decides he's going to do just that. He went ham. He decided to stop going to class. He upped his drinking way more because now he has no fucking parents. So he got drunk all the time and practiced golf all the time. And it turned out that was a perfect idea for
a lot of us
John's
called
feature.
that college yet.
Yeah, he just did a little bit early. He started college at 14. So
College was golf.
yes. Speaking of, the University of Arkansas golf instructor heard about him, obviously, and offered him a half scholarship to the University of Arkansas, which is, I think, $10.
I was kidding. Well, what's fucked up about that too is like there's all kinds of scholarships in all different amounts, right? Like I remember I got like $1,000 like just throwaway scholarship in high school.
Oh yeah, like
Like,
some
they could've
cancer
just
guy
said-
that died. It's like, oh,
That could've
congratulations.
That could have been a $2,000 scholarship the year before, but they didn't insult me by telling me it was a half scholarship. They were just
Yeah.
like, no, it's $1,000 now. That's what it is.
You are much too white for this announcement to go all the way well for us, so we're going to give you half a scholarship and give the other half to that crippled boy over there. So he was, as a freshman, he was built like an NFL running back, 5'10", 225. So
Michael
Not bad.
Stott. Yeah.
so not bad. He hated his coach because his coach would always treat him a little differently than the rest of the team, right? He was the all-star. He never needed to come to practice, and he would just whoop everybody. So anything like team incentive, like if you play the best, you're going to get the best starting spot or best tee time in the tournament, whatever the case may be. John was always winning it. So his coach would always make him do something a little bit more. It's like, okay, you have to put this ball directly in the fairway, not outside 5 yards left to right, or some ridiculous shit. So he just hated his college coach to the point where he would intentionally do shit wrong, like just to get in trouble. So he would mess shit up at practice. One time his coach, one of the times that his coach was hassling him about his weight. He's like, oh, okay, I got a weight loss plan. I'm not going to eat anymore. I'm just going to replace eating with Jack and Diet Coke. It turns out you'll lose a lot of weight doing that.
You will lose weight doing that, yes.
Lost a lot of weight doing that and got down to about 180, 185, and he's feeling good about himself, right? He's playing better. And he goes pro out of college, obviously. And he's a little bit lighter. He's not up that 225 for now. But he gets into the pros, and his rookie year, he gets married. Rookie year, right out of college, gets married. Terrible idea. He was divorced. The girl he married, and this is actually funny, was Arkansas royalty. So she came from old money, and now he was coming into the pros, and he's surrounded by all these yuppies. Yeah, technically, Walmart, the Waltons are Arkansas royalty, and they've got more money than God. So can imagine.
No more fitting a thing than someone saying Arkansas royalty and Walmart. First thing referenced. Yeah, that's
correct. Yeah, there's probably some kind of plantations. You're right, Jess in the chat. Thank you. So he's hating life because now he is forced to converse with just assholes all the time. You can take the boy out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out of the boy, as we will find out. So he got divorced from her in 1990. He at one tournament, I guess before he was going pro, because he joined an amateur tour. That's right. He joined the Ben Hogan amateur tour, and he was going around on that tour. On that tour, he breaks his right pinky drinking one night, like takes a bad fall, breaks his right pinky, wins the tournament with a broken pinky.
Studs.
Breaks it mid-tourney.
Well, he probably didn't feel it for like 4 days afterwards. He didn't feel it until he sobered up again in like 6 years.
I was gonna say, which was many years later. In Maine, so they were playing a tournament in Maine, and on Friday night, so to celebrate making the cut, if you don't golf, the field of total participants gets carved down, sometimes significantly, sometimes not at all, depending on the tournament and how many players are in there. But most every week you're going to find that nearly half the field gets cut. And upon making the cut, he decides, I'm going to go celebrate. Gets so drunk that he puts himself into an alcohol-induced coma, wakes up in the hospital. They tell him that his blood alcohol level was somewhere around 3.5 to 4%. He died for 9 seconds, and they had to revive him. And he gets up and sees if he's got enough time to play in the tournament. I don't know if he went back and played in the tournament, but he did say, okay, thanks, I got to go, and then went drinking immediately after being saved. So,
well, he had to have been so hydrated by the time he left. It was probably the safest thing to do.
Yeah. He was starting to get the shakes, so he had to go drinking again. His family is Irish, in case anybody had any question as to that. In 1991, he had his first disciplinary council on the Ben Hogan tour because he used some profanity at either someone he was playing with or their caddy. You can imagine the exact verbiage of what got him the disciplinary council or whatever it was not made available, but I'm sure John would tell you if you asked him. He probably remembers. Actually, he probably doesn't.
I said your mom looks like a whore, you cunt. That's what I said.
That's Jesus. What I said. My mom's dead. I know. So later that year, in August of 91, John qualified as the ninth alternate in the PGA Championship Major. Right? Pretty good. Especially when Nick Price has a baby being on the way, and his wife calls and says, I'm going into labor, you can't play this weekend. So they call 8 people, all who cannot come. This was in Indiana this year. They get down to the 9th alternate, which is John. They call him and say, hey, there's a spot open. He goes, oh, fuck, what time is it? Yep, I'll be there. Drives 500 miles up from Memphis, Tennessee, where he was at the time, to play in this tournament.
Just insulting everyone on the highway all the way up, just yelling profanity at them.
Yep, naked ass hanging out the windows somehow while he's sitting. It's amazing how he did it.
He's got skill, that John Daly.
He's got skill. Yeah, he would drive. Oh, God. All right, chat. You're banned for a minute.
Somebody closed chat.
So he enters the tournament. He does well on the first day. He hits like a 3 under, and he's in 8th place. Second day really does well. I think plays like hits a 6 under, 7 under, something like that. Takes the lead after day 2. Day 3, he continues to play well. Ends up shooting even or somewhere around there and holding his lead. But on one of the par 5s, he had a 35-foot eagle putt, and his caddy was tending the flag. Again, if you're not a golfer, I apologize. There's going to be a lot of golfing going here. Tending the flag means when you're putting, the flag stick that's in there, you can pull it.
This is a meeting of gentlemen. They know.
Thank
know
you.
golf terminology.
Thank you. Okay, I didn't. You know, it's in the goddamn name of the show, but I didn't know how much. You know, I had to explain what heathen. I mean, heathens can listen to the show if they want to.
That's
you
true.
Know, friends and family of our nominees, if you will. But anyway, yeah. So he's tending the flag stick. He asks if he wants the flag in or out. He says out. He pulls it out, and then upon talking to him, like during the putt or something, I guess his caddy points to something or does something that could be strewn as, or it could be considered pointing out the line, like which is against the rules if he's already engaged in the putt or something like that. So some hero who's watching the tournament decides, I'm going to call in and report this violation. The rules committee. Yep, the rules committee tells John, do not sign your card yet. We've got to review the tape, blah, blah, blah. And this is back in 91, so you know it's shit anyway. So there's one camera angle of it. And they decide, okay, it's not egregious. He doesn't have to take the 2-stroke penalty that it would have assessed him.
Good.
So, and he was a good sport about it the whole time, which is very surprising. But it is his first major. It's the first major he's ever played in. He's a rookie. I imagine he's on somewhat good behavior, right? And so now we go
only a fifth per 9 holes. He's on.
Yes, he's on his best behavior. Only a handle every. No. So Sunday comes around. He's got a 3-shot lead heading into the 18th hole. And Casey, if you would, I want you to play the next video clip. This is 25-year-old John Daly. This guy's a stud.
If anyone can do it, you can do it. I've heard it.
Goddamn. People loved him.
People fucking loved him. His mullet was insanely awesome. 90s through and through. I thought it was the most 90s thing I had seen until then they showed his caddy. Next video. We all knew a guy like this. My dad was a guy like this. Look at that guy.
This is one intimidating tee shot he faces.
Well, also, Bubba Watson is a time traveler. I didn't know that, but Bubba Watson. Again, golf reference. Fred Couples. Yeah. Okay, so Nick Price, right? His wife said, I'm having the baby, I can't play. John Daly calls up Nick Price's caddy and works it out with him to where Nick Price's caddy is now caddying for John Daly, the alternate, and he's fucking in it on the last hole. Like,
So
how
cool.
fucking lucky is that fucking
That
caddy?
caddy is happy as fuck.
He's living right. So the next video clip is what a 25-year-old, 180-pound John Daly swing looks like. It's so good.
Watch this. I started the first hole on Thursday like this, and I'm going to go just as hard here at the 72nd.
Oh, it's just gorgeous.
Because it goes so far that the camera guy who set up was not in a good position. Like he's ready for balls coming and approaching him. So where they're like rolling nicely to his feet, he can show the ball like nicely settling. That ball was gone. It was past him. He's like, oh fuck. So this after he got divorced before this tournament and in his first season, he met a girl whose name is Betty. And it's the worst spelling of Betty that I've ever seen. I could let it go even if it's like Bettee or something stupid like that.
That's bad.
Right?
Yeah.
That's bad. Her name is spelled Bettye. What the fuck is that E doing? Oh my god. What
That's Betty.
stupid parents.
Her name is
Betty. It's like Forrest Gump every time someone says their name. Betty. So this is my favorite. Yeah, bet ye. John Daly now on the first tee.
The only way it's worse. The only way it's worse is if it's like Beddhiy. Betty.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I was expecting a little browner of a lady, not as white as this lady is. So. My favorite part of this next clip is they have her there, and now she is his fiance at this point in the story, right? So she's at the tournament. Go ahead and play the next clip for me.
He has really been composed.
Bad eye.
That's his fiance.
All right.
That's
DC logo. Why thumbs down? That's not good. Why thumbs down? Well, KC, after this tournament, he he found out that Betty had not been totally honest with him about herself or her past. KC, what's the biggest age difference you've ever found in somebody you were dating? Like, they said they were a certain age and then they were not that age.
I haven't. Okay, so I dated one person that claimed to be a year older than me my whole life until it turns out she was a year younger. Yep.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. That's excusable, right? That's forgivable. John Daly thought his fiance was 4 years older than him. Turns out she was 14 years older than him.
Oh, boo.
How do you miss 10 years? How drunk were you, John? 10 years? He thought she was 25. That woman in there is obviously not 25.
She
or 29. Clearly. She's 39. She's 39 in that video. He thought she was 29. He's 25. So this 25-year-old kid gets fucking cucked, basically, by this 39-year-old liar. Yeah, menopause 9, exactly. So... what would you do?
Leave immediately.
Leave. Doesn't leave. Not only is she 10 years older, but she has a 13-year-old kid. Now what do you do?
Already gone.
Already gone, right? John doesn't leave. Thinks about leaving, but uh-oh. Is she pregnant?
Of course she is.
So he marries her anyway. Oh, man, all that money.
Betty,
Poor
Betty,
guy.
Betty. Bad eye.
Bad eye. So, finds out his fiance is 10 years older than he thought. No big deal.
He didn't know this girl wasn't at least in her 30s when her fucking name was Betty.
Yeah.
The fuck?
So,
Come on.
he gets her pregnant. They get married, and then after the baby's born, a few months after, they're entertaining guests, or they're at McDonald's, whatever. I don't know really what happened. But 1992, the cops are called on John for domestic assault. He apparently pushed or threw Betty up against the wall, which is senior abuse, I think. And
I think it is. I think you're right.
And then goes on a rampage destroying his house. Just the description of the house, the way the police found it, is so funny to me because he's punching walls. There's like blood splatter on the walls from himself, like from punching the walls and shit. I think I just got doorbell ditched by some kids.
How old are you?
I know.
Are you married to a woman named Betty? You are, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know who's knocking on my door at 11:30, but whatever. So he gets the cops called on him. The cops describe the situation. It's funny. And he gets arrested 3 days later, charged with third-degree assault. But Betty does not go into any of the details as far as
she couldn't remember
what he did or whatever. Well, she just didn't want to. She didn't want to. Yeah, she forgot. John enters rehab shortly after that. Go fucking figure. For 30 days. And this is the best part. He gets a 30-day suspension that just happens to coincide with the time that he's at rehab. So good job. Good job, PGA. That was perfect. He can't play if he wanted to. So, you got to get your money. You got to get your big money ticket, back as soon as possible.
That's right.
Tiger had not started to play yet. So, he was known for walking off the course when he was playing like shit. He would hit 7 balls like into the water on the 6th hole par 5 at Bay Hill that you have to go around the lake.
One of my favorite clips is just him. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
He hits 6 or 7 balls into the water. I think he hit 6 balls into the water. The 7th goes on, and that is 300 yards to clear. Mm-hmm. By the way, from where the PGA guys are hitting from.
It's even understandable for golf people to not understand that this is a giant semicircle hole. Right?
Yeah,
so when you're
should
teeing
take
off, the
you
hole's
5
directly
shots
behind you, right? Pretty much.
Yeah. It's directly to your left,
okay.
But you have to tee off in front of you and then go around this gigantic lake. So he tries to clear it, doesn't, but eventually does. And the thing that was the funniest about that, you hit 6 balls in the water in a row, your day is fucked. John still shoots an 88. I couldn't shoot an 88 at Bay Hill. I'll get there. But not from the fucking pro tees. Jesus Christ. I'm barely hitting like 91s there from the fucking whites, which are basically women's in the pros' eyes. Anything in front of the golds and blacks are women's tees. So he's fucking killing it. In 1993, at the Fred Meyer Classic, he was doing a golf clinic. Like I don't know if maybe it was like the Wednesday before or something like that, but he has like grandstands with some people in there, and he's showing them like, here's how you really come through on a drive or whatever he was showing them. But he got mad at some of the people in the crowd, so he fired off a shot into the crowd that fortunately went over their heads. But he was fined.
Shit.
He was fined $30,000 for that.
Okay.
That was the heftiest. I think that was the heftiest fine that he faced on his pro life. But he was also a gambler, as you can imagine, KC. He claims to have lost $50 to $60 million in a 15-year period. Most notably, $1.5 million in October 2005 alone.
October 2005. Big White Sox guy. Oh, wait, no, he would have. Who'd they play?
KC, you would hope that you would lose that much money betting on something like a game or something like that. In your opinion, what is the worst way to gamble and lose money?
Horse racing.
Slot machines.
Oh, okay,
He lost a majority of $1.5 million on a slot machine.
That makes sense. I have sat at slot machines before, and I've never won a penny. So whatever number you give me, I am capable of flushing it into that machine. So if he has $70 million, yeah, that's I get that.
$1.5 million. Yeah, apparently they make slot machines where it's $5,000 a pull. I'd kill myself. That's like roulette for me. Like if I had $5,000 and someone said, "Okay, you got one bet and you can't play poker," I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, roulette table immediately." There's no other option for one bet, you know. But if I had to pull a slot machine one time, $5,000, and I lost it, that's it.
Oh,
kill
that'd
myself.
be the worst. No, that would be horrific. Chat pointing out how Arkansas this is. That slot machine could have been in any establishment, right? Like gas station.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Like
the church could have been at the church.
Doctor's offices. Right?
the pediatrician's office. Parents play the $5,000 slot machine while your kid is getting diddled by the doctor.
They don't, because there's not as much traffic down there in Arkansas between the lack of people and the horseback riders. All toll booths are actually slot machines. You just roll through and just get one pull.
Yeah, it's state-sponsored gambling to keep you there. There's no other reason to stay there. Casey, to end,
that's actually
gentleman.
Arkansas was where Russian roulette was invented. I know you think it was from Russia, but it was actually Arkansas, and it was a 1 in 6 chance of leaving Arkansas. It was they actually were rooting for it.
They're rooting for it. Yeah, they'd start with 5 bullets and go down from there. Make it more fun. So to end my nomination, Casey, I've got some gentlemanly highlights of John Daly's. If you will please play the video for me.
Dad, you know I love you. Daddy Trump, please pardon Joe Exotic. And for all you mullet guys out there, I had the best in the 90s. You're never going to beat it. So, let's pardon Joe Exotic, y'all. Let's go.
Beer can.
Pardon Joe, please, Dad.
I made the cut, baby.
Hell yeah.
Never played a practice round. Hello.
Good time.
Play a little golf with him and just teed up Thursday morning and played with Phil Mickelson, made the cut, kicked his ass. It was beautiful.
Hit my wits no more. It's getting really hard to score. Haven't made a cut in weeks. My career looks so bleak, y'all. Haven't I?
Love it.
That was real. What happened at the end there? That was very real.
That was very real. There's nobody realer than my boy John Daly. And to prove that, we're going to go out on a high note. This is don't you ever forget advice from John Daly. Don't you ever forget it.
You can't drink like me. You can't smoke like me. And I guarantee your dick's not as big as mine. You can't fuck like me. So don't try and be like me, motherfucker. Get your shit straight and fucking let's party together, you cocksucking motherfucker.
Boom. John Daly.
Goddamn, gentlemen. That's great.
Now for the honoraries who could never have made the cut against John Daly. Wow. Oh, Casey, the first gentleman honorary. You just go ahead and play it. It's so fantastic. This is Black Spider-Man.
Boxing. Oh, had he ever tried a backflip before? He wasn't even close.
No, and he like double pumped in the air.
Close.
So that's
sometimes if you're watching like the Olympics or the X Games or something, and somebody takes a bad fall, they're like, "Oh, he only got like 90% of the turn there. He got like 30%."
Got 30%. Tried to bail sideways and ended up breaking his clavicle instead of just knocking himself out. Oh my god! So that's my first honorary. He walked that off.
Spider-Man does nothing a spider can except fall. Spiders can fall, and he did too.
And just like that, Spider-Man and Superman are the same. So, second honorary gentleman, Casey, is also in the world of sports. Well, it's on ESPN. Go ahead and play the next video.
With round 10, here's Jacob again.
Oh, this.
Kabara Goya.
Kabara Goya. I knew it!
Yes! He knows it, Casey. He knows it. He knows it. All right. Come on, Jacob. You got this.
Oh, no.
Cabargoya. 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 What?
Ah, damn it. Well, that was a fun. That was a good run, Jacob. It was a good run.
Poor Jacob.
I've never seen anybody freak out like that. Like, what? He wanted to kill the judge. He wanted to kill the judge.
You got the first letter wrong.
Yeah. They should ding them right when they get the letter wrong. It would be so much funnier. Like instant.
See, no.
Yeah. Actually, I take it back. It's only funnier if they miss the first letter. In every other case, it's funnier to have them spell out the entire word and then wait, hoping not to hear anything. It's because that period to them has to feel like 30 seconds, where they're waiting for that ding.
Oh, that must be an eternity. Yeah.
And then Casey, it's a favorite of mine and a favorite of yours. British PSAs about kids.
Oh, those are my favorite. Is that your separate file? Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It was an oversight from the first video. This one might be my favorite PSA.
I adore,
of all time.
I adore the PSAs. So I'm very much looking forward to this. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, look. Someone's had a go at this. Look! Over there, there's a football! Oh, yeah. Keep an eye on you two. Whoa. Hang on, mate.
Break into a power plant.
I have to find little kids.
Death, keep
Right,
out.
you don't touch anything. I've seen people working up there. Yeah, well, I don't particularly want to mess around with this type of stuff. It's not worth it. You're just scared of getting caught.
Oh, how does this kid die? They always die in such great ways. Oh.
Darren!
Oh!
No, Darren!
I didn't see that one coming.
Stay out. Don't take a chance with electricity.
That's right, kids.
Oh, they're always just the best. Those public service announcements. God damn.
I didn't see that one coming at the end.
No,
I was
the
like,
second
oh,
kid.
that kid got fried. That's funny. And then boom.
Yeah, the second kid was a
Encore.
surprise.
So those are my honoraries this week, Casey.
DC, well done. I've got I got 3 honoraries, and then we'll jump into my gentleman.
Okay.
First off, my honorary number 1. It's an animal, but we're gonna decide that it's a male cat. Just so.
Oh, thank God it's a cat. Oh, that building's on fire. Thank God it's a cat.
Yeah, the building is on fire. And keep an eye on. You see there's a window off to the right with it looks like a fan or something in it.
Yes.
You're going to be watching the window just to the left of that.
Yes.
And then,
oh shit!
And then it runs away like 6 stories. Let's watch that in slow
It
motion.
lands. It not only does it land on its feet, it looks like it doesn't even hit. Oh my God! It doesn't look like it even hits the grass. It just like up in the air and then just takes off.
A goddamn gentleman. DC.
Yeah.
My clip number 2. It's got some silly music underneath it. I decided to keep it because I'll just play it nice and low because you're going to be doing play-by-play on this clip, and this is a couple of smooth criminals getting the job done.
Okay.
Or not.
Or not. All right, so we've got a gentleman in a pink shirt. This is definitely somewhere south of the border. This is probably Brazil. Oh, boy. Okay, guy with a hat is breaking into this electronics store or money trader.
Like
poorly. He's got a... What is that? Is that a sledgehammer or an axe? It's a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And this is bulletproof glass. Clearly Oh, almost. I saw some splash of glass. Oh, drops. Falls to his knees, drops the sledgehammer. Keeps going at it. Cops are currently being called to the scene.
Now,
I'm
at this
sure.
point, watch between each swing, he's going to look back to go, are we running yet? Are we leaving? Okay, we're leaving. And how do they leave, DC?
All together on a motorcycle. All three of them stacked poorly. And they got away.
4 of them.
Oh, my God. That was horrendous. At one point, he actually did make a hole in the glass and had just shattered and spiderwebbed the glass all around it. He could easily have just poked the head of the sledgehammer in there, wedged it, turned it, and just yanked the whole pane of glass out. But no.
I appreciated that his accomplice was a guy that was my brother's size. He looked like he was 6'5", 270, and the guy with the sledgehammer was a solid 6'1", 180. And the big guy's just like, you're not in there yet? It's like, you guys planned this terribly.
Yeah. Big man should be holding the sledgehammer.
You guys did a bad job. All right. Our final one, and I'll kind of talk you through it as we go here, is a police demonstration on bulletproof vests. So the guy on the left here.
All right.
shoots the guy on the right, chest, stomach region. He drops to a knee. He's feeling it. It's fine. Whatever. Now, the guy on the left is now going to demonstrate the backside of the bulletproof vest, and who do they select to shoot him? The guy who just got shot. And what happened there, DC? Let's take a look in slow motion. He missed the bulletproof vest and shot him straight in the ass.
Perfect. I hope he got the carotid, or whatever's down there.
Something like that, yeah, the carotid, that word. I just really enjoyed that they're like, all right, we're going to show off the front and back of the vest, and what will show it off better than not only can you take a shot to the chest, but then you will be so protected that you can come out of that with perfect aim. Or maybe not.
It'll,
Or maybe you will.
The vest is so good, it will force your assailant to shoot elsewhere, like in the ass, where the vest is not, because it's totally just defeated them and their confidence in their shooting you in the center of mass. Oh wait, your ass is part of the center of mass? Very technically. Okay.
Too bad.
Yeah, next version, it'll have little flaps like a music conductor, like the tails of a fucking suit jacket.
Oh, Jesus. All right, DC, let's jump into my gentleman. This is going to be one of my faster nominations ever, and I learned about this guy this week, and what I found was the hardest hitting Wikipedia page I'd ever seen in my life.
Oh, shit.
It was less than 7 paragraphs total, but it's just every sentence was like delicious syrup dripping off of the page. Like, oh, just savor every moment of this guy, because he is a goddamn gentleman. And of course, I'm talking about Timothy Dexter. Casey, once again, going into the past.
Yeah, Casey, I think there are more artist renderings of your gentleman than photographs.
There's 100% more. He was a businessman, a husband, and overall, a true goddamn gentleman. Born in the province of Massachusetts Bay. He had very little schooling and dropped out of school to work at a farm at the age of 8 years old, so not quite John Daly.
Oh, shit. That sucks so bad. I don't want to go to school anymore. Good. Go shovel shit. Oh,
man. In 1769, he moved to Newburyport, Massachusetts, where he married 32-year-old. So, again, another guy marrying well above his age bracket. Married 32-year-old Elizabeth Frothingham.
But she said she was 16.
She was a very rich widow, so maybe had something to do with his interest, because he bought this mansion.
And all those people.
and all the people that came with it. So, at the end of the American Revolutionary War, he bought large amounts of depreciated continental currency, and it was worthless at the time. But at the end of the war, the U.S. government was like, all right, we're going to pay back 1% of face value for this coin, right? And he had bought it from on the national level, and then Massachusetts...
Oh, they fucking GameStopped him. We're going to pay you 1 cent the value of this.
But Massachusetts no GameStop happening there, as they said, you know what, we'll pay face value, full, for that currency. So he had bought it he had acquired it at a very reduced rate, and he turned that into a considerable profit, with which he built 2 ships and began his export business. DC.
And the mystery of oppression is solved.
We found it right there.
We found it. Investing and saving. Ah.
Now, he dropped out of school at 8 years old, largely uneducated, and his business sense was considered peculiar.
Okay.
Now, DC, we're going to enter an interactive portion of my nomination, where I am going to give you a theme and some options. Let me get through this part first, then it's option time for you.
Okay.
So, as he started his export business, one of the first things that he transported were bed warmers, used at the foot of a bed in a New England home, right, in the wintertime, no heating or anything. And he had been advised by some people that didn't like him to bring those down to the West Indies, a very tropical area. They're like, oh, no, those are going to sell like hotcakes down there. They're going to love them.
Nope.
He's like, okay. He's like, all right, let's try that. His ship captain brought the bed warmers down there, and there was a bunch of ladies that were a part of the local molasses industry, and they were like, oh, this will help us melt that. We'll take them all. And he made a very good profit off of that. Now that became a theme in his export business. So DC, we're going to play real or fake.
Okay.
Where I give you an item sold successfully by our gentleman.
Okay.
After his initial folly, he shipped wool mittens down to the West Indies, where Asian merchants bought them and exported them to Siberia. Real or fake?
That sounds very real, so I'm going to say fake.
That was real. That was a real
one.
one.
Shit. Okay.
He sold Winklevoss's to the military specifically for their record keeping of soldiers.
Real.
That's fake. It was a terrible Facebook joke.
Damn it.
People jokingly told him to ship coal to Newcastle. Fortuitously, he did so during the Newcastle mining strike, and his cargo was sold at a premium.
Well, you read it like it was real.
I did. I wrote it like it was real. It was real.
All
it
right.
was real. He exported seagull beaks to the Caribbean, where his men found Indian merchants who could resell them as decorative pieces on silverware.
Yes, and also Caribbean people just love eagle beaks. They love to eat them.
That was so fake. That one was very fake.
Okay.
On another occasion, Practical Jokers told him that he could make money by shipping gloves to the South Sea Islands. His ships arrived there just in time to sell the gloves to Portuguese boats on their way to China.
Portuguese love China. I'm going to say real.
That's a real one. He canned glowworms at a farm and sold them in the Caribbean to soil farmers who had run out of glowworms.
Fake.
He trafficked dolphins to the Caribbean where they were sold for meat, specifically their brains, which were considered a delicacy.
Oh, I'm going to say they didn't know that back then, so maybe false?
That's false. He exported Bibles to the East Indies, which, not a lot of Bible readers in the East Indies. Luckily, he found...
Well, you didn't need that qualifier. Not a lot of readers in the West Indies.
Luckily, he found a group of Eastern missionaries that needed all of them.
Okay, I'm going to say that's true.
That's true. He also hoarded whale bones by mistake, but ended up selling them profitably as corset stays, or rib squeezers, getting a girl into her dress.
I was going to say, couldn't you just find a, what do they call that? Sperm whale teeth whittlers. There's a fucking name for that hobby that's really funny. It's like shuttlecocking or something. Fuck! Can't remember.
I think that's what badminton is.
The chat will, I know. The chat will tell me.
By accident, he found that sea urchin pus worked as a waterproof ink and was able to sell that in the Caribbean as well.
Real.
No. Finally, he herded stray cats at the advice of his rivals and brought all the stray cats to the Caribbean islands, where they were bought and used as a welcome solution to the rat infestation.
I'm going to say real.
That's a real one.
Yeah.
That's a real one. All right, we're done
crazy.
there.
That's so funny. Herded cats. Like, hey, why don't you go herd cats, asshole? He's like, okay. He sounds like he's like maybe he has Down syndrome and like he can just be talked into things, like putting his shoes on the wrong feet according to this drawing, or buying that dog. What is that? It's like a mix between an armadillo, a chihuahua, and a pig.
That's
something else.
It's bizarre looking.
Yes.
So he was subject to ridicule, but it was pretty clear that he understood the value of cornering markets on goods that were seemingly non-valuable at all. But he wasn't liked. New England high society snubbed him. He bought his large house in Newburyport from a local socialite, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to emulate." Yeah.
I was thinking you could probably say that about anybody's biography in New England. He wasn't liked.
Good point. Good point. So he picks this guy who's popular in society. He says, "I'm going to emulate him, and I'm going to really start getting into these circles here." Decorated his house with all kinds of fancy, golden eagles and mausoleums, and a garden full of 40 wooden statues of famous men, including George Washington, William Pitt, Napoleon Bonaparte, Thomas Jefferson, and himself. On his statue read the inscription, "I am the first in the East, the first in the West, and the greatest philosopher in the Western world."
That's very lofty.
And he's humble. That's important.
Very.
His relationship with his wife, daughter, and son suffered. He told visitors that his wife had died, despite the fact that she was still definitely alive.
Player.
And that the woman who was frequenting his house was actually her ghost. She's really dead. She's not here.
God damn, dude. People were so dumb back then. God damn it. You could blame ghosts for everything. Oh, that was the devil. That wasn't really me who did those things. I was taken over by the devil, but I prayed to Christ and thank him, praise the Lord. I'm no longer attracted to that woman who is my wife's ghost.
Now, we'll come back to his wife for the last point coming up here in a minute. He was a writer, DC. Okay. At age 50, he authored the book A Pickle for the Knowing Ones, in which he complained about politicians, the clergy, and his wife. The book contained 8,800 words and 33,000 letters, but with 0 punctuation, and with the unorthodox spelling and capitalization that he was known for. I think I put this in here. DC, I have one small passage that I would like you to read from the book. Right there.
Oh, cool. Did you turn it into a Mad Lib?
If you would, please.
Okay. I'm the first lord in the United States of America, now of Newburyport. It is the voice of the people, and I can't help it, and so let it go.
And spelled all correctly for the audio.
Oh
listeners.
Yeah, it's spelled completely. United, Younited. Voice, Voice. That one's pretty funny. People swap the E and the L. It's not so bad. But go.
America.
Let it go. Goue.
America,
let it go.
America's capital A space MERCARY.
Amercary.
A Mercury. The first edition of his book was self-published in Salem in 1802, and it was initially distributed for free, but it became extremely popular and was reprinted 8 times, to your point about everybody being absolutely fucking stupid.
Dude, it's so funny. If you find first editions of 1800s books and late 1700s books, like they were all done at like the press, right? So they had like put each individual fucking letter onto the thing and then press it down. And the grammar in them are fucking terrible because there were no editors. It was just literally a fucking shitwit who would just come in with enough money to make like one print of the book, and then they would pass it around their town, and if people liked it, then they would group fund. They would they would crowd fund the rest of it.
Yeah, go fund me.
Go fund thou.
In the second edition of the book that he released, he responded to a bunch of the complaints about the lack of punctuation by adding an extra page at the back of the book that had 11 lines of pronunciation marks and an instruction telling the reader to please insert them wherever needed.
Perfect. I was gonna say, like, that's what I would do as a huge fuck you, is just go through my entire thing and find period, comma, whatever, and then just put the punctuations all in a row with no spacing on one page. Like, sorry, here we go. Here's my
Here, you can use these. These are for you.
Here's an addendum.
And if that's not gentlemanly enough, DC, my last point here, my favorite point of his gentlemanly behavior. One notable episode in his life was when Timothy faked his own death because he was curious to see how people would react to him no longer being around.
He was a total fucking Facebook attention whore back in the 1800s. Is that girl that writes, it was, I can't believe today, ...
Worst day ever, ... Yeah.
Worst day of my life, goodbye, everyone.
Away message.
Two likes, no comments. Yeah.
About 3,000 people attended the fake wake for Timothy.
Including himself.
Really, and I believe,
the wife.
That his wife was the reason he did this, because he did not see his wife cry, and he gave her a good caning afterward to show her that she should have cried. She should have been more sad.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's really, really, really funny, actually.
DC, my gentlemanly nominee. I know it was a quick one, but this guy was too great to not bring in. Timothy
yeah, he is
Dexter.
great. Perfect.
What a delight!
Yeah, he was fantastic.
DC, tell everyone where they can find the stuff.
Guys, you can find the stuff at www.twogoddamngentlemen.com. There you'll find the link to the Patreon, the voicemail. You can vote on every single gentleman. You can watch and listen to every episode. Listen, obviously, as soon as we release it this weekend. And for those of you who are not already a patron, please go to patreon.com/twogoddamngentlemen. You can gain access to the live recordings right now, and also first week access to the video as soon as it drops with the audio. So definitely tell your friends, guys. We're trying to get this thing up and off the ground at a time where everybody and their fucking mom has a podcast that is terrible. Another one of those we'll be doing on the 2 weeks from now, but tomorrow night we'll be making up for Ladies of the Night. So please tell your friends, have them join the Patreon. Give them a fucking expirable link this time around. It's going to be a good ladies episode, and we can't wait to get into that. Ladies are fucking terrible. They're the worst.
But by the time this goes out over audio, that bonus episode should be out. They'll probably come out around the same time.
Ooh.
And DC, our search for the ultimate gentleman continues.
Something just happened very bad, is what happened, guys.
Wolves aren't gay, USA. That's what you get for talking all that shit, you fucking asshole.
So there you go. Isn't that a great story, ladies and gentlemen?
Andre is shocked.
Meeting adjourned.